Hello, and welcome to our short video, Master Your Skills. I'm Vlad Yeliseyev, and today I'm going to talk about layering and bold brushstroke, how it is connected, and specifics of painting it in watercolor. I'm going to share with you the image, which shows the painting of the depth, which was planned beforehand. First, I paint the sky, then I applied the background trees. As you can see on this image, I'm going to share it with you. And then I painted the foreground tree. So before you paint image like that, we have to carefully plan it. And now I'm going to show it to you in a very simple schematic manner, how it was done. So here we go. I have the building right here. It's a small structure in Arles in France. The foreground tree, I'm just making it a little bit darker so you could see schematics right here, and the background trees. First of all, I would start thinking how to make these edges of these background trees pretty much loose. And to do that, I need to paint first the sky. So I'm going to paint the sky first. And you can see in this video that I'm painting it right through the background trees. And the foreground tree as well. Without much waiting, I'm going to paint very light yellow ochre stucco on the building. I might even introduce the orange tile work right here. If you would continue with the foreground, I would just continue with yellow ochre going a little bit down. As you can see right now, the first layer is finished, and that consists of the sky, the building, and the grass, and almost everything here, with exception of little leftover accidental looking white paper left alone. But 100% of the image is painted. I'm going to dry it. And now it's time to paint the background trees right here. Now I'm going to mix for the background trees. I'm going to mix some darker green. And I'm going to paint it right over everything. Now, as you can see, this previous wash is still a little bit wet. It's actually very advantageous for me because I am sort of trying to create a sense of soft edges in a background. And that is actually very good. Okay, it's dry here and it's a little bit. And now I'm going to just cover it up until the building right here. Again, it is schematics. It's very simple illustration how you can deal with these edges. Now, imagine that I painted the sky separately and the background, line of background trees separately. There is absolutely no way I can feel the sky into the small openings over here. And that's the case for the layering, that in watercolor, as opposed to oil paintings, where they can just apply it, the sky in the openings right here, creating sort of like holes over there. We cannot use that method right here. It's just too complicated way of doing things. But look how simple it was done right here. So again, I'm going to dry everything. Now, I make sure that it's completely dry, and I will paint the mid-ground tree on top of everything. Look, I have to now use much darker mix of green. I'm using indigo and mixing it with cadmium yellow right here with much less water. The lightness reduced pretty much dramatically right here. Okay, you can mix any green you like, warmer or cooler one, does not matter. And now, on top of everything, I'm going to use a bold dry brush technique to paint the tree. Now, this is a little bit too dark, so I'm going to lighten it up. Okay, and now I'm painting my tree. You see? Very freely. This method allows me to use the freedom of the brush strokes of my choosing on top of everything. I'm going to make it darker here. And layering, a little planning will go a long way before you even pick up the brush in order to create a dazzling and very painterly image of your choosing. It could be applied not just to the trees. This method could be applied to basically everywhere you want to use a dry brush. Even so, you noticed already that the walls on this structure is already painted. So now it's very easy for the doubled light on this image. It's just the schematics. And I'm going to use dry brush on top of that freely. Let's assume that this would be the wall in the midtone. And this is going to be my cast shadows. Look at this. And the double light on top of the lit area. That is how you're going to also achieve effortless look. Too many times I'm looking at watercolors and they just simply has that overdone look, which with this method of painting is easy to avoid. Of course, there got to be shadows here. I'm going to make it slightly darker right here. Okay, so what we got here? We got two planes of vision right now, the background and the midground. In this image, which I showed you previously, I'm going to share screen with you again. You can see that there is a foreground tree exists in this corner. So after I'm going to dry this tree over here, I can create even darker mix of green, preferably even the different color. It could be even not green, but gray looking foreground tree. Applying this on top of the midground tree will create even deeper sense of the depth in the painting. And so anytime I paint, I am actually thinking about these planes of vision and how to apply my watercolor. Look at this. Let's pretend there is a bigger branch and something like that. So I assume the painting stops in this frame. And that's how we apply watercolor and showing the depths in the watercolor, preserving the brave and dry brush and painterly style of this whole presentation. You did learn today a little thing which is useful for your goals of achieving better looking watercolors today. And if you're interested in subject matters which you would like to hear about, please put your ideas for me in your comments section, and I will have a look at it and will address it in our future videos. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.